looks nice. Okay.
Hey, what was that you were saying earlier about like how you just think it sucks how like the Jews in America
Are robbing everyone?
how they control the media but they don't support Israel? You call them the U.S. Jews. You're like those fucking U.S. Jews. Like
No, yeah.
you know they're controlling the media and the banks, a disproportionate amount of the wealth, but they don't care about what's
And
going on in Israel.
my main point was that this is the stuff Kanye should be saying. And if he was saying these things, maybe everyone would kind of get the bigger picture, you know?
Absolutely.
I just think he's kind of coming off about it in a way where it's like, you know, you seem disgenuine. Like,
Yeah.
it's about what they're doing, you know?
No, I'm glad we can get that up. Neil.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the podcast now.
All right. 5, 4, 3.
What up? What up? And welcome to another episode of the unofficial podcast of the National Football League, the world famous and critically acclaimed Jew-loving 5-6 Kings podcast. I'm David Breen. With me, as always, Braden Bowie. Braden, how are you, man?
I'm ready to fucking blow fire out my fucking mouth, David.
All right, well, take it easy. All right.
Because of the Jews. No, because of all the dragons and House of the Dragon. It's been a big inspiration.
See, you missed the joke I was doing there. Because we were live, and we did the thing about you talking badly about the Jews earlier.
What thing?
And then I said, well, I mean, the live and the video saw it, and I pretended like I didn't know that was going on. And I was like, all right, well, let's start the podcast. I made a point of saying that we love Jews in the beginning, but then you still felt the need to lean into the Jew hatred joke that we were doing. Whereas, like, the audio listeners, it would have been fun. They're just like, why'd David say Jew loving?
Oof.
And then it never gets addressed with them. But the people who are watching it, they're like, oh, I get what they did there.
Yeah, I guess Mel Gibson's just been making a big impact on me lately. Him and Kanye. They're just all over the place with
It's
Jews.
not a response to what I just said.
Well, I
It's
get
not a
what-
response. You didn't listen to the words I said, and you were like, all right, Jews got brought up. I gotta say Mel Gibson. I gotta say those are my 2 bullet points. I gotta hit. I gotta hit both these points. I gotta say Kanye. I gotta say Gibson.
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
So House of the Dragon, folks. I mean, what a season it was.
Guys, yes.
It was very Game of Thrones-esque as far as the entire season. It was building towards this big conflict, and then the season ended, and they're still just building towards this big conflict.
Yeah, and, you know, I almost thought they were going to give us a little bit more as kind of like a cliffhanger for, like, the end of this episode, but I was still very pleased with the way they ended it.
So, I'm not pleased the way they ended it.
I wish they would have gave us a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I thought they were still going to give us more. I was almost like surprised. I was like, okay, this starts to feel like the end, but I'm like, nah, I feel like they're going to give us something more. And they did it. But it was still great. I mean, the whole show is fucking phenomenal.
That's the one thing to hit on. Like,
It's the
overall,
one
the
thing.
whole season was fantastic.
Yeah. And this is the one thing I think is a pro rather than the con that we're talking about. Excuse me. I feel like they probably have already filmed, and, you know, sorry if I'm wrong, but because of the way that it ends, because the actors, there's probably not going to be any type of jump like we saw in the other episodes. I feel like we're going to get season 2 much faster than the other seasons from Game of Thrones. I'm just hoping, I'm knocking on wood, just because of all the characters' ages, and you can't, like, when they're young like
I don't
that.
think we will.
You don't think so? You think
No.
there's gonna because if
So,
there's
so faster than like how there was a 2.5 year gap
Yeah.
between season 7 and season 8. Sure,
yeah.
I think it'll be like early Game of Thrones. Like season 1 came out, and then a year later, season 2.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be that.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna come out in like early August every year.
I agree. I don't, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's gonna take more than a year for them to come out with season 2.
I can't imagine it.
And-
I mean, I can imagine it would, but I don't think it will.
And my point is, there's no way they stop filming, because we're not gonna pick up and let's say Rhaenyra's son is now gonna be like much older. You know what I'm saying? Because of the film, just the filming. Like a lot of the characters that they're filming right now are at a certain age where if you don't continue to film, like how, you know, just continuous into the next season,
Not really.
there's gonna be a jump that looks like an age though.
They killed the younger son.
But I'm talking about even the older one.
The older one, he's in like.
But even their wives.
How
their
old?
wives
How
are
old do you
young.
think that? Yeah, black don't crack, baby.
Yeah.
How old do you think, like, Robb Stark was? And like he didn't really jump like Brandon Stark, the fucking young one. Like, yeah, you were like, oh oh wow, he's a fucking
And you
man.
could look
now.
at like Jon Snow. He didn't look like he aged too much. And that's
Yeah.
probably because he already hit puberty. I feel like some of these kids.
Yeah, and Jace is Rhaenyra's oldest son, and he's the only living son. The other ones are fucking infants, and
Yeah.
they could swap out the kids she's had with Daemon with
True.
other actors, and
No, yeah.
I would have no fucking idea.
But even Aegon, Aemon. I feel like-
They're fucking adults now.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like if they take like a few months or something.
I bet you they do it on a normal. I don't know what a TV shooting schedule is.
That's what I'm saying. They're probably not breaking shooting
I guarantee you they haven't started shooting season 2.
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think the complete opposite.
Oh, so yeah, no, I know that's what you were aiming towards. I think unless you know something.
I don't. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's very Googleable. I think we don't spend a ton of time talking
True.
about that when we can talk about the fucking episode.
Let us know what you guys think.
I don't care what you guys think.
I do.
Yeah, you don't even have it up. You gonna go look at the? You don't care. Real quick, he does not care about any of you. He's not gonna go look at the comments later. He's not gonna go pour through the comments and being like, Stevie22 thinks I was right. I like that one.
I'm gonna bring it up in next episode.
Ooh.
Hey, David.
Jedediah6969 disagrees with me.
Yeah, what do you think about that,
I'm
David?
gonna comment on Jedediah.
Forward
Fuck
this-
you, Jedediah.
Forward this to David.
That's never gonna happen.
It's probably.
Braden will not see your comments.
But I liked a lot of the dynamic between Renee. How do you fucking say her name?
Rhaenyra?
No. The other one.
Rhaenys.
Rhaenys. God, that was the biggest trouble I've had with like a name. It's Rhaenys. Rhaenys.
Well, it's Rhaenys.
Rhaenys.
Not Rhaenys.
Rhaenys.
Yeah.
This is like almost her episode, dude.
Yeah.
Between like the end of episode 9 to this episode, the majority of the stakes,
So let's say what happened.
yeah.
Yeah.
So she came crashing through when Aemon was
You guys
being
all
crowned.
last
Yeah.
episode. You guys all saw that. You're not watching this if you didn't see the last episode.
Yes. But she chose to basically be independent, and she even told that, which I thought was pretty ballsy. When
So
she went,
she showed up at Dragonstone.
she shows up at Dragonstone, and she basically just tells him like, I'm still independent, because obviously Rhaenyra is queen, Daemon is essentially king, and she tells him like straight up like, I'm independent, yo. I'm on my armor, bro. Do something about it. I got my dragon out fucking side.
She wasn't aggressive like that.
She wasn't belittling at all.
She showed up and she's like, hey, just so you guys know, Viserys is dead. They crowned Aegon as the king.
Yeah, she let them know. Respectable.
Daemon's like, how the fuck did you get out of there? She's like, I burst through the floor with the dragon. He's like, why didn't you kill them? And she was like,
It's not my problem.
yeah, she's like, it's not my war start.
Yeah.
She's like, fucking, if you guys go to war, that's your thing. I don't know what side I'm falling on yet.
Yeah.
I'm not killing a family with my dragon.
And that was a
I'll
big...
kill all of the poor, like, dirty, brown-looking people who lived in the city who we forced to be at the crowning.
Yeah.
I'll kill all of them coming up from the floor, but I will not kill the rich, important people up on that stage. Absolutely not.
I feel like Rhaenys was like the perfect example for what everyone is going through that aren't a part of the royal families. Because there's this big like, which side am I going to be on? You could see that there's like contemplation from some of the houses, and you could see that they have to like almost force them. So like both sides, whether it's Aemon or Rhaenyra, they almost are trying to.
Aegon.
That was Aemon. That was
Aemon's the one with one eye.
Oh.
Aemon's the cooler one who should be the king.
Yes.
Aegon's the one who is the king.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Aegon, it's just they build these dynamics so well. I forget what I was even going to go with it, but
I don't know, but I'm thinking about last week's episode. I wasn't here. Everyone, I've been here a few weeks. I got sick. I was like, oh my god, this is the most sick I've ever been in my life. This is awful. And then a week, started feeling better, and then a week later I woke up and I was like, oh no, this is the most sick I've ever been in my entire life. This is awful. Fucking COVID.
fuck.
Took me 2.5 years to get COVID.
Now look at you.
God, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. If you haven't had COVID, don't get it.
Just don't get
Just
it.
don't get it.
Yeah.
Guys, trust me, you might be like, I might want to try COVID out. Don't try it out.
Just don't do it.
It is so much better not having it.
So
But I'm back. But last week,
No, hey, hold on. Thank you, David, for being back. I'm glad that you're healthy, bro.
there we go.
Yeah.
Glad I feel healthy.
One thing I wanted to talk about that I forgot that I want.
Yeah, and that's what I'm bringing up right now.
Yeah.
This guy left out the best part of last week's episode, which was the guy with the club foot. Go, whatever's wrong with him. The new
leg
middle
is
finger
sideways.
varies.
Yeah.
And what all the politics and shit was going on, you saw the episode. And then Queen Alicent, she goes into her chambers and he's just in there. Which is wild that he's able to just get access to that. And he's like, oh, I've got information for you. And she goes and sits down, and it starts off, she, like, takes her shoes off and, like, puts her feet up like that. She's wearing socks. And you're like, all right, she's getting comfortable, whatever.
Yeah.
And then,
must
like,
be a long meeting.
and yeah, like, it was a long day, like, whatever. She's in her
She's
room,
the
she
queen.
wants to chill, she's like, whatever. She feels comfortable around him.
Yeah. It's
And
been
he
15
starts-
years that they've been.
He starts talking, and then he stops. And then she takes off her socks and puts them up there. And then he starts going again, and you're like, oh my, no, not yet, not yet.
Not yet.
And then he starts talking again, and you're like, oh, this is the thing. He's like,
Is this
he's like,
happening?
let me see your feet, and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. And then like he tells her everything she needs to know, and she's like, all right, thank you.
You're still in
And
disbelief.
yeah, like you're like, this is fucking crazy. And then she puts her feet up on the couch, and like she's not crying, but you can tell she wants to cry.
She's,
And
like,
she,
looking away.
looks the other way, and he starts jacking off, looking at her feet. And you're like, oh my god, he's been helping her for 20 years. That means this has been going on. She was like a child when this started.
Yeah.
This has been going on for 20 fucking years. This guy's been supplying her with information in exchange for being able to jack off to her feet. And it is the mountain crushed the Viper's skull.
Yeah.
The Red Wedding happened. Cool dragon shit has happened. This is my favorite thing Game of Thrones has ever done.
And I mean, just
It was
like,
bananas.
think about what he's wearing. Some wool, fucking cotton and shit. Like, it's probably uncomfortable as shit, and he's just like, oh, this is it.
Wow.
This feels
And,
so
like,
great.
He is a disabled man.
How is he able to? How is he able to get it off?
I mean, that's fucking bananas. Disabled people can't get boners.
No, I'm just saying.
How's he able to get? But the thing about, he's a disabled person. He's been disabled probably his whole life.
Yeah.
He's walking around with a cane, and for 20 years, he's had access to the queen's feet, and he's been jacking up. That's his favorite thing.
Oh my god.
We do not kink shame on the 5-6 Kings podcast. If you like feet, great. Do your thing. If you're gonna do it, go top shelf. And there's no higher shelf feet than the queen's.
That's right.
That guy's just jacking off to the queen's feet every day.
It's like Christian Bale from that movie when he's looking at a white card. He's like, look at that subtle whiteness. Oh my god, look at that space in between the words. It's just like the same fucking thing. He's just like, oh my god, look at the queen's feet. They're so clean.
Only it's the queen.
Look at the way that the
Oh,
nails are clipped.
Oh, she's tired.
Oh,
She's tired. It's been a long day. Yeah.
That big toe slightly
Yeah,
slanted.
rest.
Oh, Jesus.
Rest. No way she has slightly slanted toes.
Maybe she wears a lot of
And
heels.
she's jacking off to her fucking deformed feet.
I don't know. Everyone's got bunions today.
There's no today.
Everyone wears shoes, bro.
It's not today.
Well,
Nothing about Game of Thrones feels like it's present day.
I'm saying, like, you know, if we got bunions today, they gotta have
Guess what?
bunions
If it's
back then.
present day, they would all lose all of the wars.
That's right. Because nukes, right?
Drones.
Drones, yeah.
Take drones over dragons any day.
Any day, bro.
Any fucking day. So back to this week's episode. And back to Rain. We just had to hit on that.
Yeah.
So Rhaenys, I loved Black Dreadlocks came back. He's not
He came
dead.
back, which I totally thought he was dead.
Yeah, they built it up and
They
then
did,
they're
yeah.
like, his fever broke, he's fine. You're like, alright.
He's fucking awake.
You're like, alright, this is cool.
Yeah.
And he goes and meets her and he's like, we're done with all this. We don't care about the crown. Let's just retire with our grandchildren.
Well, first, Rhaenys had to put him down. Like, you sacrificed our fucking kids and
Yeah,
shit.
for sure. You left for 6 years when I
Piece of
needed
shit.
you and all
he was
that.
like, oh, fuck.
Our son died. Like, yeah, make him feel like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're done with all that. We're just going to go retire at whatever the name of that island is. And she's like, well, no, we're not.
Forgot to tell you.
Viserys is dead. We're going to help Rhaenyra become the queen because our grandkids are marrying her kids. And, you know, like, House of Larry is back in business, baby.
Yeah, come on.
And he's like, that's all he needed. He's like, all right, let's
Get
do
me
it.
out of this bed.
Let's do it. He goes into the war room. Dude, they are, like, they're gonna fuck it up somehow.
What do you mean?
Like, but what they have going on right now, he's like, guess what? We won the war in the Stepstones again.
Oh.
Not only that, we are occupying the Stepstones, so we control the Narrow Sea. Our island's right here, Dragonstone is right here, King's Landing is here. We can stop, we can close down the port. They can't get anything in or out of King's Landing.
And you're like, boom, shit, done.
And we have more dragons.
Checkmate.
You're just like, oh, okay, so there's no, she's gonna lose because it's Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna turn on someone and it's gonna be wild and you're like, oh shit, Black Dreadrock just slit Rhaenyra's throat. That's crazy. But like right now you're like, oh, there's no fucking way they're losing this war.
Yeah.
It just can't happen.
And a big part of this episode was because Rhaenyra was hesitant on to going to war. 'Cause she's like, well, my main purpose of being queen is to make sure that the crown and the Seven Kingdoms are unified and like healthy and stuff, not in mayhem because of all these fucking dragons blowing fire everywhere.
Yeah, and like so.
And that's why.
So Otto Hightower shows up there.
Oh yeah.
And he offers her a deal of like, hey, bend the knee to Aegon. He's the king. But that's done. It's fucking nothing's gonna change there. You're in charge of Dragonstone. Absolutely. This is yours. Your son is gonna take over that island that Daemon chopped that guy's head off over last episode.
And then your other son will be a cupbearer.
Yeah, and he's like, your other kids, yeah, like, it wasn't great. He's like, they're kings, and he's a squire and he's cupbearer. And you're like, nah, that's demeaning.
Yeah.
Fucking
This guy was supposed to be the king.
He's gonna be master of coin or something like that. Not like a cool title. It's like, he's gonna be his little bitch.
Yeah.
Both of them. He's gonna carry his stuff for him, and the other guy's gonna bring him his drinks. So, yeah, that's crazy, but whatever. And Rhaenyra, like, she seemed like she was seriously considering it. She seemed like she was seriously like, all right, let's kind of get a bigger scope of the whole scenario and see, because like whatever, like I can keep the peace and me running Dragonstone ain't so bad.
And this is kind of like a shout out, kind of a flashback to, I think it was maybe the third episode when they all met on that 3 mile fucking bridge.
Yeah.
Which once again, a fucking huge hike for both parties.
Yeah.
And fucking Rhaenyra comes around again, another flashback, little shout out to that moment, and lands behind them. And just like big dick energy, even though she's got a vagina, just walks through the opposing party to come on the other side where Daemon is and being like, I'm the fucking queen, look at the crown.
Yeah.
I
He
got
calls
the
her
crown.
princess, she's like, it's queen now.
And something we forgot before this, she had a baby,
No, she didn't.
but it died.
It came out dead.
It came out dead.
It shouldn't have a baby that died. She gave birth to a dead body.
Yeah, it was
Is
the
what
form
happened.
too, obviously because,
She kept having like dragon visions.
yeah,
I was expecting a dragon to come out of her. Were you not?
no, but I
I
was
fully expected a dragon.
I was
like,
expecting like a dragon to show up and like maybe blow fire on her fucking belly and get it out or something like something ridiculous. I thought was gonna happen.
Yeah, no, instead just the dead. And like it's graphic, it's gross. They're showing it. I'm watching it, and I'm like, the fuck are you guys doing?
This is a
I'm
lot.
like, I'm alone in my apartment saying this. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
I thought they were gonna show the
Just
vagina,
dead
too.
body, just dead baby body.
Oh,
And she just like lets it. She knows it's dead.
Yeah.
She just like she's squatting and she just lets it hit the floor.
And shout out to the sound editor because I'm fucking traumatized by the sounds I heard.
Ew.
Like, and then come to find out it's this deformed dead baby. I'm like, oh, come on. Does that hurt?
Yeah, we pull up the live, make sure we're actually live,
Yeah.
and we're not just fucking around.
Let's
You know?
see. Yeah.
We ain't fucking around or nothing, is we?
Oh, we ain't fucking around.
That's an old episode.
Yeah.
That's some oh shit. Oh,
Oops.
why is it declined?
But we're up.
Could have been a cool call.
Could have been a cool call.
Could have been fucking Fenor.
But it's fucking not.
You know, how often do I say I want to answer
That could have been
a call
Fenora.
from Fenora?
He could have finally been
Let's fucking
trying to
screen up.
apologize, and we just messed up the whole opportunity.
No goddamn way, Fenora. You owe him an apology.
I did, that's
Fucking
right. Just the
cunt.
fact that I thought maybe one
You
day he would.
fucking cunt.
That's right.
So her baby died, and they go, and it was a cool,
That was a cool moment. I know what you're talking about.
cause it's like Viserys.
Mm-hmm.
It's a flashback to episode 1. Episode 1, the fucking mom dies giving birth. They just love having weird, uncomfortable birth scenes in this show.
Yeah.
That is their favorite thing.
Yeah.
And
It's
so,
totally true.
in like full circle from the first episode, Rhaenyra's now at her baby's funeral.
Yeah.
And at this funeral, though, what's his name? The guy whose brother, his twin brother, has
Eric and Arik.
Yeah, like they have the same name.
Eric and Arik is their fucking name.
He shows up, and the people there are like, "Oh,
Hey."
And he's like, hey," and he immediately bends the knee, and is like, "I swear loyalty to Queen Rhaenyra, blah 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 blah, all the titles and all that shit."
And I also stole the fucking crown.
And he's like, "And I got Viserys' crown," and fucking Daemon, and it was cool, dude. A lot of cool like imagery
Little
in this
things,
episode. Just like he put the crown on Viserys' head in the last episode.
Yep.
He puts it on Rhaenyra's, which part of me thought Daemon was gonna be like,
there was a part of me too.
put it on himself and be like,
But it makes me more hype that he didn't do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I didn't want that. I want them to work together, be this powerhouse couple,
Absolutely.
and just fuck everyone up.
absolutely.
Once again, though, I don't know if you've seen my guess, but I'm predicting that Aemon with the
One
one
eye.
eye, is gonna kill Daemon.
Those two
That's my prediction.
have to fight at some
Oh,
point.
they got to.
That's like, but here's the thing: it's Game of Thrones, so like, they probably won't.
Oh,
Yeah.
that pissed me off.
Jon Snow and the Night King
Oh my
had
god.
to fight at some point, and they were just like, yeah, but what if they just never do?
What if they have like a stare down for a split
Yeah,
second?
And what if they have like this fucking awesome stare down in season 5 or 4, whenever it is, where you're like, oh shit, okay, this is what we're gonna build towards. It's gonna be
Even-
Jon Snow versus that guy.
even
And
in the
then
fact-
in
even the fact-
the episode, yeah. And then later, just Jon Snow's sister is just gonna kill the Night
She's
King.
gonna jump out of nowhere while being surrounded by all these dead people and just stab him. That honestly pissed me off.
Fucking all for Arya killing him.
No, yeah, I'm for
Whatever.
Arya killing
Yeah,
him,
whatever.
but not just
Jon-
jumping out of
Jon-
nowhere.
I don't even care about that. I don't even care about that.
I hate
Jon Snow and the Night King had to fight.
it. Come on.
They had to have
Get to the
some.
point where
some
the Night
badass
King is about
one-on-one.
to kill him,
Yeah.
right? And then she comes out of nowhere and stabs him with the fucking
Yeah.
thing. Then I'm like, okay, wow!
Give us the fight that
Yeah.
they spent an entire series
Hype it
building
up, yeah.
toward. You're like, fuck, here we go.
He was
It's
at
about to
night watch.
happen.
He fucking went to the other side. He did all this shit to never. And he's supposed to be the best swordsman, like of all time, kind of thing.
I mean, no, it's not.
Jon Snow,
It's not the
for
best of all
sure.
time.
Not the, but
How many times have we watched Jon Snow get his fucking ass kicked? and then get saved by fucking Samwell doing some
he
nonsense.
did get stabbed by
or-
some 10-year-old kid, and that's
Yeah.
how
Yeah,
he
well,
should
like-
have died.
Like, Jon Snow's great, he's a badass, he's fearless, all that shit. He's not the best swordsman. Jamie Lannister with 2 hands, but fuck Jon Snow. Like,
See, that's some shit we should have saw.
yeah. Like there's so many things that Game of Thrones is just like,
We'll build it up and then we'll hit you
yeah,
with
what
this.
if we just don't? We'll give you Jamie Lannister and Ned Stark fighting in the streets in season 1, and you'll be like, oh, this is pretty sick. And then one of Jamie's guys will just through the back
Oh
of
my
Ned's leg,
god,
and
that
then Ned will
pissed me off.
And
too.
Ned will die a couple episodes later. Like this show just loves to. So like maybe we don't get Daemon and Aemon.
Maybe we don't, but that's my
Yeah.
prediction. I'm sticking to it. For
Yeah,
you.
I mean it's a great. It should happen.
Sure,
They're
hopefully.
they're fun little
And they almost
at
look
the
like each other.
at the
kinda
dinner thing where they kind of stared each other down
Yeah.
and Damon smiled as like
Damon's like,
David
that's me.
smiled.
That's me.
Yeah,
I'm like,
David,
come on,
David's
dude.
like fucking. I get it.
I get it.
fucking get this
well,
kid.
fuck, dude.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
They
it's
played
great.
it perfectly, and that's like one thing the show does is like they can really capture and like emphasize certain small things that happen. Just like Yeah.
That little smile from Damon.
And the pacing of it is perfect.
Smile from Damon has me like, oh, those two have to fight at some
They
point.
have to.
Have to.
Yeah.
And it's going to be sick. It's
Yeah.
going to be my favorite thing that happens in this show.
Yeah.
And it's not going to happen because fuck you, we're Game of Thrones. And we just rip your soul out.
To bring it back to this episode, like a lot of it's about Rhaenyra being very hesitant once again of like going to war, and that's why Rhaenys ends up talking her husband into it, because she's like, she is the only one that's been hesitant. Every single dude on both sides, both kingdoms.
So she didn't say he's been hesitant.
No, yeah, but
She's like Rhaenyra's the only one that's fucking keeping this whole thing together.
is even trying to not go to war.
She's like, people are panicking and like, let's just fucking take the dragons and go kill. We got more dragons. Let's go kill everyone.
Right now.
And Rhaenyra's the only one, because he called her that girl. She's like, that girl is the only one that's keeping the situation under wraps right now. Like,
And speaking about smiles, like they captured some really good reactions of Rhaenys reacting to Rhaenyra's that I
Yeah.
really like, because I'm like, dude, this is building up Rhaenys very well. She's in. Oh, this is the one problem that I thought of when I was watching the episode that I have with the show. Rhaenys is the only motherfucker who has not aged at all, dude.
oh, not what I was thinking about.
You think she's?
No, so you sure?
Come
Sure.
bro. She
Her
was the
and-
same from like episode
And
one.
her husband,
Yeah, and her
because why hasn't he aged?
Jewish?
You think Jews don't age?
I don't know. I thought
Have
it was
you
like
have you seen Jewish people?
I thought it was a trick question.
I know many a Jewish person
that of
who,
like,
who look awful in their older age.
oh, so it's,
I don't think anyone would ever, correct me if I'm wrong, please. I don't think anyone would ever say that Jewish people age gracefully and have great genetics.
So it's all the seawater.
But what people do age gracefully and have great genetics. I said it earlier.
Fuck. Dude.
Black don't crack.
Oh, black don't
Brayden.
crack.
That's why he hasn't aged, because black don't crack.
It's gotta be the oil on the skin or something, you know? Just takes the wrinkles away. Man, I don't know, bro.
You saying black people are like greasy?
No!
I mean, that's what it sounds like.
We all got
It
oil on our
sounds,
skin.
it sounds like, yeah, but you're saying they have more and they're like greasy looking. It's fucking, dude. That's wild.
He's got cool white hair,
That's
bro.
wild. Yeah, changing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's deflect.
We'll switch
What
it.
about his hair?
How about I
Hair's
compliment
cool.
him now?
No, Rhaenys. Only one. At the funeral, and they brought the crown. That was the big. There was like 100 people there.
I thought they were gonna bump.
Everyone but Rhaenys bent the knee.
I thought
Like,
she was
in that
like, hey, you
moment
back
at
there.
the funeral. So I didn't think she was gonna say anything there. She noticed it.
Yeah.
I didn't think she was gonna say anything. She then, when they're in the room, like right afterwards, and they're at the table, the fucking cool table where they put the
So
fire in, it was
fucking
badass.
cool. Is it supposed to be the same one where
It looks different than the one.
Yeah.
So it's
at like the end of like season 6 and 7?
so it was. Daenerys was in Dragonstone.
Yeah.
So it's the same
Exactly.
table. The table looks different though.
It does look.
So
a little
something's changed about the table.
Yeah.
But it's fucking.
Maybe an island got blown the fuck up and they had to
I
redo
mean,
it.
yeah, it's been 300 years.
Yeah.
So tables change, baby.
The table has changed.
It's one thing we know about tables. They're always
so
changing.
sick. And I'm like, how do they? I mean, I get it, there's candles underneath, but it's like, what kind of materials is this fucking thing made out of?
It's badass. Go check. Maybe the coolest thing about this show.
Yeah.
But I thought she was gonna say something to her there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she made a point of like.
And I like how she's been in
talking to her
armor
there.
the entire time. Like she's just like,
Oh, she's red.
she's like, hey,
She's like,
anything
I'm the
can go
what's
down.
gonna happen.
Yeah. At any
Just
point,
like-
I can be sentenced to death. I don't know.
She's like, this is fucking wild. Last episode, the one dude was just hanging.
Yeah.
The fucking one, he's the lord of whatever. He's
Yeah.
like a big deal. They just killed him in public.
For no reason.
Yeah, because he was trying to leave.
Yeah.
He was like, I want to go home. I don't fucking want to be here.
Like, nah.
I'm a prisoner. I bent the knee to your fucking kid. I'm a prisoner now?
Yeah.
This
Can
is
I
crazy.
leave?
Let me go home.
Um,
They're like, you're going to die instead.
Yeah, she even said to her husband, like, I got locked in my bedroom, which I just
Yeah.
thought was so funny.
She was a fucking prisoner. It's
Can
crazy.
you imagine being a queen and you
Ah,
get locked in
she's
a bedroom?
She ain't no queen.
Well, princess of like an entire kingdom. That
Yeah.
yeah.
But I thought she was going to say something there. She didn't.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad she didn't. It wouldn't have played well
Yeah.
to their relationship.
And they build up this episode from once again the premise of her trying to be like hesitant to go into war to what ends up happening is she sends her sons. So her which the older
So on Black Dreadlocks, once he said like, you got all of our ships, we're controlling
Yeah.
the sea, all of that, and she's like, all right, now I need more people on the ground. Because that was her. She was waiting to see what ships were gonna fall her way.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest one possible. The people with the most ships, the other people with the dragons.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, now
I'm winning.
She's like, now I'm off to such a great start. Now let's try to go get the Starks. Let's try to get the Baratheons. Let's try and get the Vale.
These people that have already sworn an oath.
Yeah, let's go to the Riverlands. Like, let's start fucking working on the people of Westeros now.
And he's like, send the ravens. And then, what's the older son's name? Do you know?
Jace.
Jace.
But they call him Jace.
Jace. He was like, well, let's send the dragons. He's gonna send a better, stronger message. I feel like he's gonna take it pretty hard. He's gonna beat himself up over it a little bit because he was the one that kind of suggested it, you know.
For sure.
And then Queen Rhaenyra is like, yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, she's like, great. You'll go to the Jace, the older one. She's like, go to Winterfell, talk to the Starks. Which I gotta imagine they get the Starks. They make a point of saying it.
Yeah.
Like Ned Stark.
Yeah.
For instance, if 30 years prior he bent the knee to some little girl, and that little girl is now like, hey, I'm gonna be the queen. You gonna honor your oath? Ned Stark isn't gonna be like, no, there's the son now that I'm gonna bat. Like Ned Stark's gonna be like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like my word's my bond.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're gonna get Winterfell.
Yeah. I definitely don't think they're gonna get someone like Lannister or anything like that.
No shot.
Yeah.
No shot. Lannister, because the one Lannister dude's in the small council.
Yeah, he's already in the small
He's
council.
fucking no shot. He's
and not to bring it back to the last episode again, episode 9, but he was like literally in the middle between Sir Cole and It's like, ooh, let me just scoot on over here. And then they kill the fucking one dude, and he has to come back to sit down. He's like, do we still do this right
He's
now?
like, we get him out of here, and no.
Sit the fuck down. We got business.
Sit down, door stay closed. He's like, this is fucking
Shit.
wild.
Fuck.
Yeah. But I think they'll get the North, which will be interesting.
And I hope they get the Kingsguard, the main Kingsguard, Sir.
Oh, for sure, he's
Sir
coming over there.
fucking.
No fucking way he's staying.
After that.
Yeah, he's showing up.
Which he looks like, and then it's like, okay, do you think him and Sir Cole are gonna end up fighting because of that whole little dynamic?
Yeah, and I think Sir Cole,
Sir Cole's gonna probably kill him.
He's gonna kill him,
Yeah.
for sure, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Like Sir Cole.
But I am hyped to see it.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick.
And
But
it's
this guy's
battle in
gonna
that
be
armor
like
is gonna take forever.
like Barristan Selmy, who he just showed he was gone for a while.
Yeah.
And then he just showed up over there
At the right time.
where Daenerys was, and you're like, oh shit, she got Barristan Selmy now. That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
That's he's just gonna kind of show up like episode 5 of next season, and you'll be like, oh, this fucking guy's here. Get the fuck out of here. Where's he been? And he's gonna be like, hey, I got you, Rhaenyra. That's my guess.
Yeah. Which I think makes sense.
So the two sons, they're going. The youngest one, who's gonna be taking over wherever House Valeria, that island, who, spoiler, he dies.
Yeah.
But the episode started with him being like, Mom, I get seasick, which I do too, I can relate, bud. He's like, I can't go run that island. I'm not gonna, and like you're just watching it, you're like, this kid's kind of a liability, I kind of hope he dies.
Yeah.
He is just gonna weigh these motherfuckers down. They got a war they gotta go fight, and he's just like, I don't think I can do it.
Yeah, they build that up too because the older brother likes to fight. He doesn't really seem like he likes to.
The older brother likes to fight, and I fucking loved episode 8, where they're at that dinner. I haven't been here a few weeks, guys, so I gotta talk about things that I've liked the past weeks. When, like, Aegon was talking shit to him and like talking to his wife, and he's like, if he doesn't know where to put it, you can come find me. I loved how he just stood up and he's like, guys, allow me to be the first. Say it's so great to be here with all of you, my uncles. It's great to see you. Like no hard feelings. It's like give it a great toast. And I'm just like, oh, this kid's the fucking best. And he's like putting his hand on Aegon's shoulder and he's like, all right, bud.
But dude, remember, I don't know if you saw what I said, but it's like, how do you go from that to being like, this guy's trying to mock you by being like, he's very smart and strong, and he's like, enough!
He kept being like, you guys are strong. You know, just such strong boys.
And then he's like, you can talk about fucking my wife.
He's
Like,
like,
you call me strong one
like,
more
say
time.
strong one more time, you see what happens.
Dude, so funny, bro.
And Amon, he did fuck him up.
Yeah. Fucking even the other kid fucking slammed the younger brother's head on the table.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
So the younger one goes to House Baratheon.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
which
the kingdom, even though it's like on a fucking ginormous rock surrounded by water, when they go in, I'm like, dude, 300 years before, this fucking throne he's sitting on looks better than the one we saw Baratheon sitting in 200 years later, 300 years later. I don't know if you felt the same. I felt like, damn, this is a throne and a cool little castle. This room that we walked into was like almost nicer than what we saw in Game of Thrones. Does that make sense?
I don't know about nicer, different.
Like it looked dope.
Different, but it wasn't the Iron Throne. It was,
No, I know, but
yeah.
I'm just saying for like 300 years before, you'd almost think it'd be like shittier in a way. But it looked nice. I was like, I want to sit
Yeah, I
on
mean, it was nice. I don't know if I'd say nicer. 'Cause the Iron Throne's pretty nice.
No, I'm not talking about the Iron Throne. I'm talking about like whatever Baratheon's throne that he was sitting on. Because like the Baratheon household is like what I'm getting to.
Yeah, I don't know if we ever saw it.
I feel like we saw it. I just remember like anytime we saw
Stannis wasn't. We never saw the Baratheons like main house. Stannis
So maybe not
was
them.
always at Dragonstone.
But basically
never
every
saw-
other throne other than the Iron Throne from Game of Thrones, I felt like this Baratheon throne looked nicer than every other one besides the Iron Throne.
Alright.
I was like surprised. I was like, wow, this is nice in here. Like when they were showing it, that was like my first thought.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely nice.
Yeah.
It's definitely. I didn't dislike it by any stretch.
But when they go in, who's the first motherfucker he sees?
So before he went in, talking
no.
about out in the courtyard.
No, I'm talking about like in the throne room.
Okay, so he like lands his dragon out in the courtyard, and
Which he's got a small dragon. It's like teenage dragon.
yeah, and you see fucking Vhagar,
I
whatever it's
love
called,
that
the
shot.
massive dragon that Aemon rides that he stole from the little black girl,
Mhm.
and you're like, this is not good. That is the last maybe Otto Hightower,
Yeah.
but other than that, last person you want there. And honestly, Otto Hightower, there's no threat of him trying to kill the kid there.
Yeah. So he's by far the worst person you could have saw in that
Yeah,
situation.
he shows up and Aemon's there, and
The dragon is huge.
yeah. Rhaenyra told both her sons, she's like, "You're going as messengers, not warriors. Promise me." And they're both like, "Yeah, we promise."
Yep.
So, and I wish she would have been like, "I'm here as a warrior. Let's go, Aemon. Let's fucking go." So he shows up, and he gives a letter, and the Baratheon dude can't read it. And he's like, "Where's the maester?" They go and they get the maester, and he reads it. And he
Which I
goes,
thought was hilarious. I'm like, does the king not know how to, or yeah, whatever.
the Lord
Lord.
of fucking wherever the Baratheon.
Does he not know how to read? Like,
He does not know how to read.
yeah. So that's why I was like, what
He
the fuck?
calls the maester to read it.
And
And
Maester's like, you wouldn't fucking believe this.
that's pretty much because he says he's like, "Your mom sent you to remind me of my oath?
Remind me?
Remind me of?" Or it wasn't even his oath. He's like, "Of my father's oath."
Yeah.
It's like, Aemon's gonna marry my daughter.
Who are you gonna marry?
The fuck you got? And he's like, "I'm gonna marry."
I'm already,
Yeah, he's like, "I'm
Betrothed,
already
I think it was the word.
betrothed," and he's like, "No, you got nothing for me. Get the fuck out of here, kid."
Yeah.
And the kid's like, "All right."
I'll tell the queen.
Yeah, I'll tell the queen you said that.
Yeah.
And he starts walking out, and Aemon's like, "Hold on." Pulls out a like fucking dagger, slides it on the floor over to him, and goes, "I want you to give me an eye." You're like, "Oh, get the fuck out of here!" And then,
Give me an eye.
and then he takes off his eye patch. You can see it's
Didn't
like,
see that coming.
his eye was like, it was like purple.
It was blue.
Yeah, like they put like a gem in there.
And like we've seen this in like a Disney movie or something for sure. Like we've seen.
I don't know about that, but
Oh, I've seen it somewhere. I don't know where, but someone that knows.
Looked wild. You're like, what the fuck is going on there? And he's like, "I'm not gonna cut it." He's like, "I'll cut it out for you." And he starts walking towards it, and the Baratheon guy's like,
Not in
Nope.
my fucking house.
"Nope." He's like, "He's crazy." He's like, "He was sent here as a messenger from one of the most powerful houses
There will be no bloodshed under my castle
under my roof."
roof.
Yeah, it's not a castle. He's not a king. He's not a fucking king.
It
He's
looks
just
like a castle.
he's just the head of that household.
I mean, true.
Yeah. And he's like, no. He's like, take the kid back to his fucking dragon.
Get out of here, you fucking punk.
And the kid leaves on his dragon, and the Baratheon guy.
Well, he looks back. Right before he's getting on the dragon, he looks back. He's like, "Oh shit, that dragon is nowhere to be found."
Yeah, he's like, this can't be good.
Yeah.
And he hops on, and it's raining hard.
Oh,
and,
it is like
and he,
a thunderstorm everywhere.
and he flies off, and he's flying, and we
You
see.
can tell the dragon can barely catch its fucking wings. It's so
Yeah,
small.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
And like in a lightning strike, we can see the huge dragon is just hovering above
Yeah.
the kid and the dragon. You're like,
Oh
oh
my
shit! And he
Uh,
swoops down, and Aemon's kind of just fucking with him.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like Aemon's laughing
Yeah.
and fucking with him. He's like, come on, boy! And it doesn't feel like Aemon's trying to kill him.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I
he-
wouldn't doubt maybe try to like hurt the dragon a little bit or something.
I think it's just
Just
like
fucking with him,
it's
kinda?
just a power like,
Yeah.
hey, I could fucking
Kill
end
you.
you.
Yeah.
All right, always remember that.
Yeah.
Always remember that I could end this shit like that.
Yeah.
I got the biggest dragon. I'm the best out of our generation with the sword by far.
Yeah.
You see me fuck up Sir Kristen Cole last episode?
That's a good point.
He's like, that dude's a badass, and I just fucking owned him out there.
Yeah.
Like that's all. He's sending that message, and the kid's flying. I love.
Kid does a good job.
He goes down the rocks and shit.
Zoom in.
But I loved how like his dragon comes up and he's like, no,
Oh,
listen
yeah.
to me,
Yeah.
listen to, and the dragon just like blows fire at Aemon's dragon,
And he's screaming like, "No, Eric's, no!"
and then he's flying away, and then like,
And then immediately, that's what Aemon does too, because he
Aemon's
just
like,
tells-
oh fuck, let's go, let's get the fuck out of here,
Yeah,
let's get the
'cause he
fuck out of
knows
here.
his
And
dragon's-
dragon's like,
No.
nope, and it's flying around.
Now both of them are like, "No, no!"
Yeah, he's screaming like, no, Rhaegar! And Rhaegar just comes and just eats the dragon.
Well, it's great because the pacing of it, like, the younger one, what's his name? Do you know his name?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, because he's dead. The dead
Yeah.
kid. He flies up with his little dragon. He finally gets out the thunderstorm. You're like, oh, he got out of the clear. Like they're not gonna be able to see him now. They're probably stuck in the thunderstorm and out of the fucking clouds, like straight coming up. It happened so fast. I went by frame. It's like 3 frames before he's.
Pewter's about to die.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Plug that shit. That would've been fun. We just stopped recording
What?
this episode.
It is plugged in.
Oh god. I mean, it's not plugged in over there, big guy. Cord's got to be in on both ends.
Is it good now? Yeah, it's good now. Yeah.
Good. There we go.
It was in, but like not in.
Yeah.
Look at that. Thanks for the save.
Oh, dude, that's what I do. That's what I do.
That's what you fucking do. But yeah, it was a crazy shot and like gobbled that motherfucker into pieces, bro.
Oh yeah, there was no scenario because Aemon looks back and it's like maybe the kid's falling in the sky. And he's like, "What the fuck?" And Aemon could be like, "All right, let's go grab him."
Yeah. But
Aemon looks back and there's not like a little bitch just
No.
floating down.
how
Like, ugh.
pissed off would you be if they opened up the next season with the kid just falling out the air and he falls in the ocean and survives? Would you be?
I'd be very pissed.
Would you be pissed off?
Yeah, it's very annoying.
He just
with that.
fell like 10,000 feet and like somehow survived in the ocean.
Yeah,
And then gets picked up in the narrow sea by fucking Rainies or some shit.
yeah, I'd be fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Pissed. So that happens, and then the season ends with Daemon like pulling Rhaenyra aside,
And she just
and
turns.
we don't hear what he says, but he says, "Hey, fucking one little bitch son died.
He's fucking dead.
Yeah, looks like his dragon got eaten."
2 boys dead. 1 episode. How are you fucking feeling about this?
Yeah.
She turns around and she's like,
You lost two children and your father. 1 episode. You hear all of this.
yes. But at the same time, you gain a fucking kingdom and you gain all this
I mean,
new
she
support.
ain't gained shit yet.
True, but
Yeah.
she did gain the crown.
Yeah.
A crown.
Hey, crap.
A crown.
Yeah, not the throne, just a crown.
So they're hyping it up to be like, oh, when season 2 happens, it's gonna be all out war.
And that's the thing. Season 2 needs to be all out war.
It better be. But
Because that's what worries me about like Game of Thrones. Robb Stark was the king of the North, and he was gonna go fuck up Joffrey, and he was like, "I'll go to Casterly Rock, and I'll take Tywin Lannister's home." Like, all like building it up, building it up, building it up,
And it's like-
and like don't get me wrong, the Red Wedding was bananas, like
Who saw that
crazy
coming?
episode. You're like, holy shit, this is crazy.
Yep.
But like, it's not. Give us a badass Robb Stark battle
Yes.
before the Red Wedding.
That's what really pissed me off, is that we kept seeing Robb Stark apparently winning all these
just
battles.
after, it's like he won the battle.
Yeah, that
The kid never loses a battle.
that enraged me, bro, because I'm like, dude, let's see one of the battles.
Yeah.
Come on, we're like, what was it, season 3?
Yeah,
There's enough budget.
It was the third season where midway through season 1, Ned Stark is a prisoner, and Robb Stark's like, all right, here we go.
Here we go.
And then he dies at the end of season 3.
Yeah.
Sure, like, wait,
By a black ghost that like never gets brought back up in the fucking series.
it's not Black Ghost.
Well, it was the woman who's she's a
No,
witch.
No,
or whatever.
you're mixing up your people here. You're thinking of Renly Baratheon, who got killed by it was a ghost in the shadows, and it never gets brought up. It was a ghost in the shadow of Stannis Baratheon, and fucking Brienne killed Stannis. And she's like, you killed Renly, you used your fucking dark magic.
No, yeah, I know that. Yeah.
And as the shadow, you killed him. He's like, I did. Like,
Wait,
do
so
your
who was
duty.
the shadow though?
It was Stannis. The Red Woman did that. But Robb Stark died at the wedding. The Lannisters send their regards.
That's right. Yeah, you got.
So, and like, they all got their comeuppance, those people did. They tied all of that up
No, yeah.
very nicely.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
give
you're
me
right.
one Robb Stark battle.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
Let me see him out in the field fucking people up, and I'm like, oh, this kid's sick.
Yeah.
No,
Because then it does.
Instead, we just hear how good he is.
Yeah, and the Red Wedding was fucking crazy, but at the same time, it would have, I feel like, meant that much more too if we would have saw one of the battles.
Yeah.
If we would have saw how good of like a swordman he was, or a
Yeah,
fighter, or
instead
whatever.
of just hearing
Things.
how great he is.
Yeah.
Like, that's why you guys made the show based off of the book so people could see the things that the book was written. When you just don't show it and you tell us about it, that's the exact same thing as writing the
Yeah,
book.
we want to see the most riveting.
That is
fucking
exactly
shit.
the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's season 2 needs to deliver. Season 1, here's the thing. It was
They
great.
built it up.
It was very good.
Yeah,
But
we understand what the fuck's going on.
But I'm weary because Game of Thrones has taught me to feel this way.
Yeah.
Of, okay, they've built it up really high. Like, I'm excited for what could happen. It just needs to happen.
Yeah, you're right. I would say one thing that we left out was Daemon going and getting a new dragon. He's got one.
Yeah.
And he goes into another, because he even talks about it. He goes, we have other ones that aren't like paired, or someone's not like writing it or anything. So he goes into one and he's just singing like an old folk fucking song. I don't know, just trying to like, I didn't understand what the real point of that. I'm like, is this how he seduces
It wasn't
the
an
dragon?
old folk song.
I don't know what the fuck song.
He was speaking in the language that...
But he was singing it.
But only, yeah, old folk, some old Valyrian song. Old folk, like banjo, and he's like... yeah, like fucking...
But I'm like, is this the way he like seduces the dragon into being like, okay, oh, you're the human to ride on my fucking back? The first thing this dragon does, and pitch darkness, which is so cool. That's one thing in the show that I really like. They play on the contrast of like dark and light, and like the majority of everything's dark. So like when they have something that's like very lit up, I mean the contrast is beautiful. So when this dragon just starts blowing fire all around, I'm like, oh my god, it's such a beautiful picture. But then we get a shot from like the ceiling down, and there's just like shards of like rock that's like coming to a point that the dragon's blowing fire around. I'm like, oh maybe this is gonna like knock some shit down from the fucking rock ceiling and it's gonna fall on Daemon. Maybe this is how he dies, or maybe he just gets bit.
I would have been livid
I would have been so pissed.
if
That's why I
he
was-
died because just rocks fell on him.
Dude, but they showed it from an angle where it looked like that was almost gonna happen, and I was like, no, don't do it. But yeah, so now Daemon has 2 crazy ass dragons, and he connected eyes with it, and that's like, I guess what you have to do. You gotta connect eyes, and then the fucking dragon knows, oh, I don't eat this small little pink flesh thing.
When he sang the song,
He
made the connection with it.
Yeah.
And said whatever words he needed to say. That's the, what's his name? How he stole the dragon
Yeah, amen.
that he's riding now.
Yeah.
And it's a
The
big deal
biggest
that he's
dragon
riding.
of all time.
It ate another dragon in this episode.
Good eat.
His dragon is so big that it ate a dragon. Be like if I ate a person. Yeah, you gotta be a big person to eat another person.
That's a very good point. But yeah, season 2, it's gonna be fucking wild.
It's gonna be wild.
Yeah.
We done talking about this?
Yeah.
Do you know what's already proven it's wild though?
David, the Nutty
The
Professor.
Nutty Professor, guys! It's been so long since we've done this. The Nutty Professor. It's as wild as it gets, guys. Eddie Murphy, he plays a fucking professor, and he's just like, oh, I'm the professor. Look at me, I'm Eddie Murphy. I play every role in every movie. You see Norbit?
No.
He's like every role in Norbit.
Really?
Eddie Murphy does no wrong.
Yeah.
You know what else is fucking wild?
Breaking Bad, because I finished it.
Did you?
Boom.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Do you want me to give my thoughts? Yeah, right?
Absolutely.
Bro.
Absolutely.
So I liked it a lot. I will say, if I had to give some critiques, I felt
Real
like,
quick, you can leave now if you haven't seen Breaking Bad.
Yes.
You didn't watch this planning on us talking about Breaking Bad,
That's a good point, David.
so please leave if you have not watched Breaking Bad. Go.
Now, I felt the first 2 seasons were too repetitive and a little too slow for like what ended up, you know, like I get it, you got to build up that all this is happening, and I did like that the way I got invested into the characters for what ends up happening over the next few seasons. Like it shows such a contrast as to how these characters change over that time. But I felt like they paced it a little too slow and it was too repetitive. I felt like we were doing the same things almost every episode. Not every episode, but like to a degree. But then I felt like from season 3, it started to get a little bit faster. And then like season 4 and season 5, I felt like were fantastic. I will say though, I didn't really like the movie. I don't know what you thought about the movie.
El Camino?
Yeah, I watched that too.
It was...
It was just more like a Jesse Pinkman story.
Yeah, which is what...
What
That's,
it is.
that's what they were going for.
But at the same time, I felt like it was not enough happened in the movie.
Sure, Breaking Bad was a 5-season show
Yeah,
where it
and
was
we're
like
showing
16
now what's-
episode
yeah.
seasons, like, and then they're condensing that into an
Yeah.
hour and a half.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. Like that was the ending that Jesse deserved for sure.
No, I think so too. I
He
felt like
was,
they didn't get,
because that's what I hated about Breaking Bad.
they didn't give him like a good ending.
Was that he was chained up and tortured and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, dude, like the way this character has evolved over the years for this to be the ending, that sucks.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, that pretty.
Like, and like, yeah, he drives off in the end of Breaking Bad.
No, I felt the same way. I felt
Yeah.
like, oh wow, they.
So like El Camino giving him a fucking ending that he deserved, I'm fine with it. It wasn't amazing. It didn't blow me away.
No, yeah,
But I was like, all right, good. Like,
No,
good,
and
good
that's
for
like-
Jesse.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly like the point I feel like of the movie is to give him like a better resolution to his character.
Having COVID, I almost watched all of it.
Yeah.
Today, I watched episode maybe 14 of season 5. Like, I'm almost done.
Yeah.
Dude, from when they tell Walter Jr., when Skylar and Marie tell Walter Jr. Walt was fucking making meth and
Yeah.
this drug kingpin, to the end of that episode, where he leaves Holly at the fucking fire station,
Yep.
it might be the best TV I've ever seen in my life. Like, them going home and Walter's packing everything and all of that, and the phone call,
Like,
like,
talking about like from the gasoline and stuff like that.
no.
Oh, okay, later.
I'm talking about, like, they come home and they thought Walt was in jail.
Oh yeah.
Hank said he arrested him, and Marie with the knife and the phone, and Walter Jr. throwing him off him. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit, that is so well done.
Yeah, it was very and all the
And the
actors
phone
did-
call where he's like, "You should have just done what you were fucking told. You dumb bitch.
Dude.
If you ever had crossed me, and that's why he is where he is. If you cross me, you're gonna be like, oh, just so good,
So good.
so fucking good."
So yeah, so like I would say season 4 and season 5 were even parts of season 3 were like amazing television. Yeah, felt like it was.
It was very good, and like Tuco's the fucking man.
Tuco's-
Tuco was awesome.
I love Tuco.
Season 2 was Jesse and the heroin chick. Like
Yeah.
that was all fun.
Yeah,
That was all. And then season 3 when it's full on Gus Fring.
yeah.
That's when it was like, oh, this is the best show on TV right now.
I think the one other thing I would give it is I wish I would have saw some stuff that made me, and this is stupid in a way, but like I wish I would have saw some things that made me like less. I don't know. I don't know how to say it without being like in a bad way, because it's not that it was bad that I felt like I was like not that I felt depressed, but it was like so many things are so depressing almost like in the show because so many bad things happen. It's like I felt like one of the only, I mean, other than like seeing some cash, and this and that, I feel like one of the best resolutions not resolutions, but one of the best things that we got that was like the only contrast to the other feelings that we get throughout the rest of the show was him buying his son the cars. If that makes sense. Or like Jesse Pinkman maybe getting some things.
But the show's goal wasn't to
make you happy, I know.
Well, and to make people think that cooking crystal meth is a good idea.
No, yeah.
Like like their goal wasn't like, oh, just show them balling the whole time.
No.
Show them living it up and fucking
totally,
like enjoying life. Like show like, yeah, he made a lot of money, but
yeah,
at this like his fucking, he had his brother-in-law killed and everyone around him was dying and his family didn't want to go with him at the end and all of that shit. Like that was the cost of it all.
The acting was phenomenal.
It's so good.
I felt like
so fucking good.
I felt like the writing, the acting was phenomenal. I felt like, I don't know if it was because I have cheap Netflix, like I don't buy the premium quality one, so like I'm in lower quality. I don't know if that's the reason.
What's the higher quality Netflix?
They literally go like, if you pay for more per month, they will give you like HD for everything, but if not, it's like in a different
I have
format.
a cheaper one.
Yeah. So,
and Breaking Bad is like it's shot like a cheap show. Like it's made to feel low budget, and
that's right. Yeah, and that's what I thought too. I will say one thing that I dislike was the color scheme of it, because it's like they're trying to show that you're in New Mexico, and everything is like the desert, so it's like so hot. But like literally, like you could be indoors, and there's like an orange color scheme like laid over. I don't know if you felt that way at all, but it's like, well, it's just if you next time you could like rewatch it, just like think like, okay, is this like they're literally editing in like a color scheme over the image itself. Like it's not like it's 100%.
No, Vince Gilligan said he did no editing color wise. It's all natural. Like
no way.
You know what you need to do now though? Better Call Saul.
Oh, bro, Saul is one of the best characters in the show too.
That's there's a show.
No, yeah,
Saul. Yeah, and it's great.
But now I feel like I fucked up because I feel like I should have been watching it at the same time or something.
No.
No?
No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because I felt like
Better Call Saul. So
they
there's
overlap with each other.
There's things because like
Saul's amazing.
So it's
and then also
it's before Breaking Bad.
Oh, okay.
So like just be ready. Like there's times where like you think Saul's gonna die, but you know he doesn't because you know he's in the fucking he's there later in his life.
And then the hitman, his right hand man to like I forget his name, but
Mike Ehrmantraut.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's in Better Call Saul.
So like I think the casting was phenomenal. I feel like the acting was phenomenal. I feel like the writing was phenomenal.
Dude, Better Call Saul is exactly the same in that regard.
Nice.
Like every character, you're like, oh, he's perfect for this.
Yeah, and exactly. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely check that out.
You know what else you need to check out? It's not. You're not gonna guess it. It's not The Nutty Professor.
That's probably another Eddie Murphy movie.
It's not. You're not gonna guess it.
Okay.
It's the movie we're doing next week, guys. Guys, if you've only been here the last 10 weeks, you don't even know we're a fucking movie podcast.
Yeah.
We've been doing House of the Dragon. Guys, next week, we're coming out with a banger. We're coming out swinging, guns a-blazing. We're doing Phone Booth with Colin Farrell, Forrest Whitaker, Kiefer Sutherland.
David, I gotta brag. You know I'm friends with Colin Farrell, right?
Best friends.
Best friends.
Best friends. He's going to be on the show next week. Brady's going to make it happen.
I'm gonna make it happen.
Because they're such good friends. Guys, do you want to watch Phone Booth before we do a podcast on Phone Booth? You should watch Phone Booth before we do a podcast on Phone Booth. Here's where you can watch Phone Booth before we do a podcast on Phone Booth. It's available on Hulu with a premium subscription. Amazon Prime Video with a premium subscription, although oftentimes it says that and you end up having to rent it for $3.99. Just be ready for that.
They just try to get you.
It's available with Jeff Bezos. The world is his.
Yeah.
We've accepted this. Congratulations, Mr. Bezos.
Now he's swole on a yacht.
Yeah. You can also watch it on YouTube, Google Play, Apple TV. Oh, you can go get it at Redbox or Vudu for $3.99. It is not available on YouTube TV.
They had to say
It's
that.
available on YouTube. You can rent it, but you cannot rented on YouTube TV.
Is that Google? Google
Cannot-
felt like it was necessary.
Cannot stress that anymore. It is not available on YouTube TV.
Thank you, Google.
Yeah, but guys, this has been House of the Dragon. Gonna be honest, I'm glad we're going back to movies.
Oh, I'm happy.
House of the Dragon, doing the live one, you run into issues like, oh, David has COVID, and we couldn't bank the episode. So Braden, we didn't plan for it to be a 5-week vacation for David.
Oh,
But it turned into me being here for half the season and Braden carrying the load. And I thank you for that.
Hey,
I think
my
you did
pleasure, man.
Did a fine job in my absence, but Daddy's home. Right? Daddy's home. We're doing the movies. We're doing phone booth, guys.
I'm hyped.
Yeah, guys. Well, it'll be a normal episode next week with all the website and the Instagram and all that shit. We're 5-6 Kings.
5-6 Kings.
Just look up 5-6 Kings on all social media. 56kings.com. Guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I love you all very much.
Don't forget, every motherfucking Monday.
Every motherfucking Monday. We'll see you all next week.
Peace out.
Wow! Yeah, I just can't believe, like,
Bitch, I'm from Palm
you're not
Beach.
allowed to say the things about the Jews that you've been saying. Man. Like, they're
what-
not weak people. Like, you can't just say
David, I was
something.
never-
Like, all of them are weak.